I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
I brought the horse from Ujitz, the one Lady Stephanie asked for.
I saw. No problems with him?
Of course not. I can handle one horse. Will you tell Lady Stephanie I brought him?
She probably already knows. She keeps peering from the castle walls.
Are you serious?
God save you. What can I do for you?
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
What was that noise?
I've got good news, sir. The source of the problem was inside the monastery. There was nothing more to it.
And the construction?
We'll continue. The master builder's helper was to blame for everything.
Probably some.
With him out of the way, the work will run smoothly again.
That's good. You've accomplished your task admirably, Henry, and I should reward you for it.
Thank you, Sidivish.
What is it?
someone there?
Jesus!
Welcome, Henry. I'm glad you're here. The Lord save you. What do you need?
I've brought the roan, my lady.
That's wonderful. There weren't any problems with it, I hope.
Nothing too serious. He's a little wild, but I was able to handle him in the end.
Well, that won't do. Sophie can't have some wild horse at her wedding starting a stampede.
But I've learnt a trick. If you sing to him, he calms down.
You sang to a horse?
It's quite true, I'm afraid. I sang to a horse.
Well, then you'll have to sing something to me, too.
My lady, I don't know if I...
So I know how to calm down that roan. Go ahead, sing.
Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to, my maiden so fair?
Oh, how beautiful! I'm not surprised the horse calmed down after hearing such a lovely voice. Anyway, I'll think about what to do with the roan. But thank you, Henry.
I brought you the crown from the master engraver.
Henry, you are a gem. Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look like an angel. So, what's next?
I brought the wine.
Wonderful, wonderful. No wedding is complete without good wine. Find somewhere here to put it down. I'll send for a servant to bring it later. I hope you had no problems acquiring it.
Problems? Huh. I don't know the meaning of the word.
As if I didn't know you.
What can I do for you, my lady?
Nothing. You've done enough. And now I'd like to reward you.
That's not necessary, my lady. You taking the time to see me is reward enough.
Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as your company. And there's something I'd like to give you. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right.
But I can't accept this. It's too valuable.
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me.
I could never forget you, my lady.
Well then, won't you try it on at least?
What, right now?
Why not? Don't worry, I won't look. I'll turn my back.
And what if your husband comes in?
He won't. Neither will anyone else.
All right, then.
I feel truly blessed to have you here. So long I yearned for young company. I really feel God heard my prayers and sent you to me.
Ready?
My, you do look handsome. As fine as any gentleman. When I was a little girl, there were always lots of other children around and young men and women of the court. It was so merry. I always hoped it would be like that when I was grown up too. But it was not God's plan.
You and Sir Divish had no children.
No. No, alas, we were not blessed. Twice I was with child, but they did not live. And now I fear there's no hope for me.
My lady. Oh, forgive me, my lady. I shouldn't have.
I don't mind.
I am at your service, Sir Knight. God save you. What can I do for you?
Hey!
Hey!
Hey, watch it!
Good day to you. What do you need?
Godwin won't tell me who Lubosh's cronies were. I've reached a complete standstill.
I told you no one ever came here to see him. If he was meeting anyone, it must have been somewhere else.
But where? I can't go around the whole county asking, can I? I could end up in Kuttenberg.
You might. They might even have records of that scoundrel there. But maybe you don't have to go that far. I just remembered he once boasted to me that he had a record in Rattay. There might be some mention there of who was with him at the time.
Thank you for your help.
What do you want?
I've come to ask if you'd be willing to teach me to read.
Why, it would be my pleasure. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few groschen for my trouble.
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get started. The sooner I master it, the better.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days so I can put you through your paces, if indeed time is of the essence.
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start.
He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart.
Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me, what have you learned?
That being greedy doesn't pay.
Excellent. You're one of my most talented pupils. You've uncovered the meaning hidden in the letters. Like I told you, books are valuable. And the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn your way around words will take a lot more reading yet. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. If you really want to be able to read, there's no getting away from Latin. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand it, but you should master the letters.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me to tackle Latin.
You're a clever lad. You'll manage.
I read the page.
So tell me, Distrupule, what's written there?
Nullus est liber tam malus, ut non alique parte prosit.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be ordained right away.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot wiser.
Don't move! Give me all you have.
God be with you.
Is there any work here for carpenters?
I'm not looking for anyone at the moment.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Why not? All right, so
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt.
You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Ratai. It's overcrowded with refugees and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in the Dechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks. I'd like to know... That's all.
Have you got a moment? I'd like to ask a few questions about Skalitz. I don't remember much.
All right. What do you want to know?
I won't trouble you anymore. Let's leave it be.
Hey, look out!
Would you happen to have any work for me?
Of course I would. And, surprise, surprise, it's another ring.
Like last time?
Properly done this time. Proper hard work. And who else to set the task to than you? The ring leader, so to speak. The thing is, one of the rich townsmen left his ring behind the last time he went to the baths for some wenching. Too drunk to see it, no doubt. And now he wants it back, and the baths deny all knowledge.
Why not turn to the bailiff?
Why not? Because he doesn't want anyone to know about his bathhouse visits. And the girls in the baths are wary of selling the ring in case the bailiff does start looking for it after all. So we'll make life easier for them. What do you say?
Consider it done. Provided I get something out of it.
Don't worry. You won't be left short. The ring's hidden in the chest in the bathhouse madam's chambers. Come right back with it once you have it.
What happened to you?
I have that ring for you.
Excellent. They'll be hopping mad at the baths once they find out. Here's your reward, and don't turn it all into drink.
Any chance of some more work for me?
For you, always. A friend of mine asked me to help him get back some disputed land from his neighbor.
And you've become an officer of the law, is that it?
A likely turn of events. No, I'm pleased to say this is good old-fashioned stealing. There's a deed of sale for that land, not quite in his favor. So it would be a fine thing if it went missing.
Very well. Where do I need to liberate it from?
From the bailiff himself. Ha! You should see the face you're pulling. I never said it would be easy. The deed is supposed to be at the rat house somewhere, on the table, among the other parchments. You'll need to sneak in and then find it.
I'll manage somehow.
That I don't doubt. And you needn't doubt your reward.
Is there any work here for carpenters?
I'm not looking for anyone at the moment.
Will you teach me how to pickpocket better?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Maybe another time. You've been working at the mill for a while now, haven't you?
Pretty long. Why'd you ask?
I heard there's a possibility of finding work here for 2 talented carpenters.
That depends on how talented they are.
I'd say they're talented enough.
We'll soon see. But go talk to the miller about it, all right?
Of course. Is the miller very strict?
The miller isn't, but his foreman doesn't give the workers anything for free, besides kicks and insults.
Well, hopefully that won't happen. They're good men.
I'll be happy if that's true.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, 2 survivors of Scalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
Miller, you know me. Everyone around here knows me. And you also probably know that I work for Sir Radzig Cobbler.
Really?
Really? And I'll be very grateful if you do this for me. I know how to reward those who help me.
I know. People around here know you. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
Is someone there?
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. Couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
I'd like you to teach me how to be better at stealth.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Maybe another time.
What the fuck are you looking for here? I won't put up. What's the matter? Come on. Now you're fucked. Ah!
God be with you, Henry. Good day, Henry. Jesus Christ be praised.
What are you hanging around for? Don't you have any work to do?
No, I don't. Sigismund's marauders took everything I had and reduced me to beggary.
What's it about?
Since I lost everything, I've been doing whatever I could to survive. Only, I got caught with my hand in someone else's pocket. And since then, I can't even set foot on the square without the catchpoles pouncing on me.
So you're a pickpocket? All right, get to the point. But keep your hands where I can see them.
My honestly begged groschen were taken from me by that bastard of a guard, Pazdera. He claimed I stole them and took them for himself, the swine. Well, if you can get them from his pocket back into mine, where they rightfully belong, I'll give you a share and teach you a handy trick too. What do you say?
I'm not a thief. Find someone else.
A pox on you, your kin and all your descendants. Call yourself a Christian, turning your back on a neighbour in need.
God be with you.
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come get 'em.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
You look like you've got a lot on your plate, Master Bailiff. Is work keeping you busy?
Busy? I've had so many visitors, I wouldn't wonder if the door fell off its hinges.
What's going on?
I've been given the task of putting some of the Scarlet's refugees to work. It's not that there's a shortage of jobs, the problem's sharing them out fairly.
I understand. Everyone has mouths to feed.
The worst part is they won't tell you who really needs a job the most, but you might be able to help, Henry.
How?
They're like to be more honest with you, so you can find out who's in the most need. And you can decide for yourself who'll do what. Will you help?
If you need help, I'll do whatever I can.
You're a godsend. I'm sure it won't take too long. You know how the refugees are getting on, don't you? But ask around if you need to find out more.
What kind of work are we talking about?
Well, old Hagen is looking for a cook, and we need 5 carriers.
A cook and 5 water carriers? That sounds simple enough. Is there a problem?
A little. We need 3 water carriers, but the other 2 will have to carry, begging your pardon, shit. Or as the Pope would say, excrement.
Is there anyone who can tell me more about it?
Yes, the merchant Conrad Hagen is the one looking for a cook, so you can talk to him. And young Alex will know which of the Skalitz folk are best suited to the job.
How come that's such a cause for concern?
For one thing, they're afraid of me, and I can't get a straight answer out of any of them. So how the hell am I supposed to make the right choice?
Oh, they're desperate. You can't blame them.
I don't, but I might end up picking some good-for-nothing who'll just booze his wages away.
Can you tell me anything more about the cook?
You'll have to ask Hagen yourself. I couldn't get a straightforward answer out of him. Maybe he's changed his mind.
What do I need to know about the water carriers?
We need 3. Right now, some of the burgers' hands are doing the job.
And they need to go all the way down to the river for water?
Of course, where else would they get it? Gallows Hill? It's not an easy job, but someone has to do it.
What can you tell me about the other carriers?
It's dirty, but it's a job that needs to be done. There'll be more than enough work for them. Some places are overflowing.
Sounds disgusting. Why would anyone want the job?
If all else fails, I'll pay 2 groschen for every 1 I pay the water carriers. That might convince someone.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I need to have a look in the Black Chronicle, Friedrich.
And I need blessed relief from my suffering. May the Lord have mercy.
Well, I don't know what I can do for you except bring you a priest.
I'm not dying yet. I just can't get up.
I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm on the trail of those killers from Neuhof, and I need to know the names of the men who were sentenced alongside Limpy Lubosch from Uzhitz.
I can't remember. Once I write the record down, it goes straight out of my head.
It's essential that I find out those names. Is there anything I can do to help you get back to work?
I can't go to work when I can't stand on my feet. Konyash the apothecary has an embrocation that helps, but it costs dearly. If you brought me some, it might do the trick.
All right, I'll try and get some for you.
Show me what you've got concealed.
What's with you?
Greetings, Henry.
What?
Such are my orders.
Fine. Now get out of my way, because you're definitely not searching me.
Right. That is, certainly. Welcome. Welcome.
God save Henry. Right, mate, just this morning.
Good health to you.
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
But what of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is hauling shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skillets, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
But who should I talk to then? Where will I find them?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
Thanks. I'll go.
Hey, Henry's come to see us. I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
Scribe Friedrich needs the embrocation for his joints.
What, again? He was here not long ago for some. He ought to make it last longer. I told him not to grease himself up so much. It could cause... Ah, the older he gets, the more foolish he is. Well, did he tell you such salvation is costly? Have a look in the shop for yourself.
About that debt.
Here you are.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you're a man of honour. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
Well, I'll think it over.
Scribe Friedrich needs the embrocation for his joints.
What, again? He was... Ah, the older he gets...
day, Henry.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you.
More. Finally, a reasonable sum.
But I'm reduced to this. I'm from Skalitz and... well, you know.
My respects to you, sir.
I bought you the embrocation, and you were right, it certainly wasn't cheap.
I know, lad. I've been using it for years.
Will you let me have a look at the Black Chronicle?
Well, you helped me, so now I'll help you. Come along, and I'll show you our Black Chronicle.
That really is a miraculous ointment. You haven't even rubbed it on, and it's already working.
You know how it is. Faith itself is the greatest healer. Just thinking about the relief it will bring makes me feel better. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Come along.
Huh?
God be with you, Henry.
Could you find something for me in that book? The thing is, I don't,
Don't know how to read, do you? So what do you need to know?
I'm trying to track down those Neuhoff cutthroats, and I need to find out the names of any cronies of Limpy Lubosh from Ujitz.
Give me a while.
So did you find any mention of Limpy in the book?
I did. Apart from Lubosh, there's mention of some Anton from Vlashim and Hinek, known as Riki, from Ledechko.
Ledechko? That's a stone's throw from here.
Aye. Certainly closer than Vlashim.
Thanks for your help.
Thank you for that ointment. Hey, who's there?
How does life in Rat Eye suit you?
It'd be fine if we didn't have to sleep in hovels and beg for alms. And the bailiff is always on our backs, the bastard. But what can we do? We've got nowhere else to go.
Did you find out what actually happened?
What do I know? The lords are at each other's throats, but it's us that has to suffer for it. Same as always. I reckon they was after the silver mines, wasn't they?
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumors. I'm still his housekeeper.
Father Francis no longer needs a housekeeper.
What? Don't tell me he's found a new one.
Well, I probably shouldn't tell you. I'm afraid that's just how it is.
But that's not like him. Somebody must have been putting ideas into his head. I'll have to go back and talk to him.
But he's not at St. James's.
No? Then where is he? And why does he have a new housekeeper there?
They're sending him away, somewhere to South Bohemia. I was told they've arranged all the help he needs there already.
But what will I do?
You didn't want to drag you away somewhere else, since you've been here your whole life.
That's true, but what will he do without me? Who will take care of him?
I'm sure he'll be well taken care of. What about you? You could have a good life as Hagen's housekeeper.
Very well. I'll go and work for him then. Eternal rest granted.
Good health to you. May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
I've lost everything. My home, my family. Hey, Henry's come to see us.
My respects to you.
You're here about the water carrying?
Aye. I can hold water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
God be with you.
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Scullets and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all. But they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman? That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal. But they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No. It's from when I was in the mines. Digging with a pick.
Besides water, you could carry... you could empty latrines.
What? Carried shit? That'd be a new one for me. Though, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
What happened with the bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
That peacock what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me.
God save you, Henry.
So I shut my mouth.
How are you holding up, anyway?
What can I tell you? I've seen better days for sure.
Well, I could put in a good word for you, but you'll have to scratch my back, too.
Fair enough. Show me where it itches.
No, you dolt. It's just a saying. Like I do something for you, and you do something for me.
Ah, right. I see. Well, as it happens, I've got something great for you.
Good day, Henry.
Treasure you wouldn't dream of.
Treasure, you say? Right, you got my attention.
I see you're a smart man. A man who knows a thing or two about the world. I've got...
Welcome, Henry.
Wait for it. I've got a piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Never heard of her. Who's she?
She was a great queen in ancient times. She gave Solomon a sword with magical powers.
Magical, eh? You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
No, it's true. It's in the Bible. And this sword,
God save you.
once it's put back together, nothing can stop it. It can cut through bones, teeth, even steel and stone.
I see. But you've only got one piece. What's that good for?
I couldn't get it all. The fellow I bought it off didn't have the rest. He sold off bits and pieces. They've got powers of healing, you see? And put strength in your... you know... manhood.
I'm glad you came.
What do you say? Deal?
We'll shake on it. I'll get you the job, and you'll give me the piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword.
Agreed.
Hey, am I...
What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me, though. So I came here myself.
Look, I already have more people than jobs. You're a bit late.
But I really need a job.
Well, so does everyone else around here.
None of them has a husband on his deathbed.
What did you do in Skalitz?
I was at the silverworks, roasting the ore and washing it. My husband was at the smelter.
Oh, Christ. Things got very ugly there. I suppose that's where your husband was wounded? It's a miracle you managed to drag him all the way to Rattay.
What else could I do? Leave him there?
He's dying.
He's badly wounded. So poorly he's been in his bed for weeks. Unconscious most of the time.
Sorry to hear it.
I already owe the apothecary a small fortune. And he won't lift a finger for us now.
All right. I'll think about it and talk to the bailiff.
And you'll tell him to take me, right? God bless. Hey, look out! Loud!
My respects to you.
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Well, that's not bad, but for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Rattay?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
And the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can't see how that would put you off him. What would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
So that's how it is it? An honest person can't get a job, only one who'll stoop to bribing?
Come now. I just want to help, but I'll have my job cut out persuading the bailiff to take you.
All right. I don't have anything, but I know the armourer in Sasau, and he'll give you a good price if I have a word with him.
Cheap armour might come in handy, all right? Done.
Done. As soon as I get the job, come and see me, and I'll tell you all about it.
That's enough for now.
Henry, I'm glad you came. Hey, Henry's come to...
God be with you.
God be with you, Henry.
How does life in Rattay suit you?
I suppose it was kind of them to take us in. But then they just left us here to fend for ourselves. Nobody gives a damn about us.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I don't know and don't care. I'm not here because of that.
I suppose not.
Hey,
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners. And at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though.
It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day for months on end?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it would be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. What about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
No, it won't come to that. Sir Radzig will surely take care of things when he returns home. He won't forget the sacrifice you make.
I'm glad to hear that. If that's how it is, I'll even carry shit.
What would you give if I put in a good word for you?
Good word?
Sure. If I put in a good word for somebody to the bailiff, then that someone has a better chance.
But I haven't got a pot to piss in. I lost everything, and I'm in debt too. But I might know about an opportunity.
Oh? What kind of opportunity?
I heard about it at the mine, before Skalitz was raised.
So, what did you hear?
They found something they wanted kept a secret. There weren't any rumours about a silver scene, but what else could it be?
The punishment for stealing the king's silver is hanging or burning at the stake.
I know, but you can't be burned for stealing silver nobody knows about.
That's enough for now.
God be with you.
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see. All right?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Skalitz.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
And what would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
I've got nothing to give.
Oh, come now. You say you want the job, so prove it to me.
Mother told me I should go and help. If you don't want my help, fair enough.
That's enough for now.
Good health to you, sir.
You're here about the water carrying?
How? Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back at the winch. Turning it so fast I'd make everyone's head spin. But now I want to carry water at least.
since there's some money in it.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
And what if I told you that you get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did? But more money?
I wouldn't be toned to the winch anymore. More like toned to the stench.
I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it at the mines. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm. Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal, then.
Deal. I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water, then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
I'll bear that in mind.
Good day, Henry. God be with you.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young, nimble.
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, of course. It goes without saying.
I also heard that you need workers to carry, to empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's not a concern for decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home.
Welcome, Henry.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Master Bailiff, is there anything of interest going on here?
I should say so. The bishop's vicar came to Ujitz, and not even Sir Hanush knows what he's after in these parts.
Something must be up, but I couldn't tell you more than that.
I'd like to talk to you again about that job. That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then.
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Tonda. They call him the Winch.
The Winch? Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come get 'em.
Vincent. Moimir's son.
Vincent? Never heard of him. What do you think he should do?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Peter. Better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Vassi. Goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
Carrying shit.
Can't be done. We've already got enough people for that. Now what?
Carrying water.
Vegetables, fruits, apples,
Cornelius.
cucumbers, onions.
Ah,
Come get 'em.
Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
Carrying shit.
Can't be done. We've already got enough people for that.
Cucumbers,
Now what?
Lovely cucumbers.
Carrying
asparagus
water.
and prunes.
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hagen?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
Onions that'll make you cry and garlic that'll keep evil spirits at bay.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime.
Carrots and apples picked today to put a smile on your face.
Quiet as the grave here.
Cucumbers, lovely cucumbers, asparagus and prunes.
right here.
What else to you, sir?
What's happening around here?
Ah, you know how it is. Always something. Like that sake has started an archery contest here. If you want to try your luck at winning a few groschen, you should go and see him. And there's more. Especially at the mill. Not a week goes by without some ruckus there. But I'm wise to them troublemakers. Whenever they're planning some mischief, they're always huddled there in the corner, hatching their plots. Like yesterday, for instance. Oh, and another thing. Now I think of it, I've not seen Cunhutta here for some time. The local herb-woman. She always comes here once a week for a tankard of ale. But she ain't turned up recently. I hope nothing's happened to her.
Otherwise they might get the idea they can do without you. Get it?
Alright, but that fellow ain't one of us, though. You moron.
That's just why we have to get it, right? So no one else tries it on.
I'm looking for someone they call Riki.
That's the tanner's son, Enoch.
Where can I find him?
Hard to say. He's not around here much. Thank God for small blessings. You could try his folks' place.
What can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? No, he's none too popular. No one cares to talk to him.
Why not?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad company.
What's the tanner like? Hinek's father.
The less I see of him, the better. He's not exactly sparkling company.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's a tanner, of course.
So why don't people like him?
The old tanner's not an easy man. But a son should never let his father down. Enoch does nothing to help. He's always far too busy with his own affairs, though I wouldn't like to say what those are.
And does no one at all talk to him?
That harlot Adela hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench. Same thing. Be a bit more careful.
What don't you get? Why do we have to sit around with some drinking manners?
God save you. What can I do for you?
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
Well, no one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners, and that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you ever get downwind of him, you'd understand. Tanning isn't a trade for a weak stomach.
True enough, but not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinek's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone. And then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Rattay for thieving. And in Neuhoff, he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits?
Just so. We're all honest folk here and we've no use for the likes of him.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called.
What are you gaping at? Have you paid?
What do you think you're doing?
No?
You've no
Then
business
get
here.
lost.
I'd like to make use of the bathhouse's services.
Uh-huh. And what do you want?
Actually, never mind.
God bless.
Be a bit more careful.
It'll clean your body and lighten
Damn.
your soul. You should come more often.
What do you think you're doing? You've no business here. What in the...
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Look, Hinek's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he's got to.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms, no. More like hares or other game.
So Hinek is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
When did you last see him?
A few days ago, he came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He keeps prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it. But he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye. And then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me, and we could get married and such. All just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Hey, you there! Are you going to hang around here gaping like a stuffed
Look where
squirrel
you're
all
going.
day and night? If you can...
What's it to be? What's the matter with you? What are you doing there? Hey, who's there? What's going on there?
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Have you ever heard of him?
Sure. Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinek.
Ah, you wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick and Harry?
Listen, your son's in serious trouble. I'm trying to help him, and my patience is wearing extremely thin. If you start answering my questions, this is going to go a lot better for everyone.
Are you threatening me? And I'm supposed to believe you want to help Hinek?
Believe what you like. I'm concerned about Hinek, but I really don't much care what happens to you. Is that clear?
Fuck it. I'm not going to take a beating on account of that good-for-nothing.
So?
There's not much I can do for you anyway. Hinek came here, but he left right away.
Where did he go? You better give me something. You really don't want to waste my time.
Hinek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there, is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for me.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then. What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to God Almighty, I've said all I know. Hinek never told me nothing.
Bloody hell. Start using your head or I'll never find Hinek. How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything?
Well, he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves and muck on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
I'd like to talk to you about your Hinek.
I'm very busy, so make it quick.
Do you at least know any friends he's with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he has to go to the baths. What are you doing here? Are you after something? What's the matter with you? Is something the matter?
Hey!
What the hell was that?
Hey, what are you up to? What's that? What's going on there?
Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money. What the hell was that?
Hey!
Jesus,
Look
look
out.
where you're going.
Doesn't even know how to apologize.
much as experienced as you.
What do you want? You've no
What are
business
you
here.
staring at? The baths are for paying guests, not idlers with nothing better to do.
What do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Here several times.
I just want to ask about Hinek.
What do you want to know?
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money.
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, but it's only 'cause his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough. But they didn't like him before that either. Or me. They're closed-minded yokels. Both of us are the black sheep of the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing. Maybe Hinek thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see. Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
For sure. How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, 'cause he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start.
Don't be such a knucklehead. Of course we can't leave him be. Runt would slit your throat if he heard you.
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
But ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
I've no time for this. I have to find Hinek and you're going to help me.
Am I now? Even if I did know, why the hell would I help you?
This is a nice alehouse you have here. It'd be a shame if anything happened to it.
Are you threatening me?
What do you think? So are you going to talk, or do I have to beat it out of you?
Fine. Let's get to the point then.
You know? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I did some deals with Riki, but I swear to God, I don't know where he is.
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all.
But
I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
how do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
That's just why we have to get it, right? So no one else tries it.
It's all the same to me. I'll secure him anyway. Just I can't be bothered looking for him.
Well, while we're at it, did you ask about him at the village?
God bless.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
What the hell?
Good health to you.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
I just want to ask about Hinek.
What do you want to know?
Another thing about the money.
What is it?
Another thing about Hinek's hideout.
Yes?